121 AD, Marcus Aurelius wrote something in his private journal, something he never intended anyone to read. He wrote about a woman who consumed his thoughts, tormented him, made him feel weak. And then he wrote 4 words that changed everything. 4 words that didn't just free him from obsession, they made him irresistible. Those 4 words were never published, hidden in fragments, scattered across translations. But tonight, we reveal them, because what Marcus understood about desire, about power, about human nature, it's so counterintuitive, so disturbing, that most people will reject it immediately. They'll call it manipulation, cold, inhuman. But those who understand, those who truly grasp what the Stoics knew, they never chase again. They don't have to. Marcus Aurelius, 121 to 180 AD, Roman emperor, philosopher, Stoic. To the world, he was the most powerful man alive, commander of legions, ruler of an empire. But in his private writings, the Meditations, he revealed something else. A war being fought inside every human heart. A war between what we want and what wants us. Between desire and dignity. The Stoics didn't just study philosophy. They studied power. Real power. The kind that doesn't need to announce itself. The kind that operates in silence, in stillness. The kind that makes people come to you without you saying a word. Tonight, we decode the hidden mechanics of Stoic attraction. Not the sanitized version they teach in self-help books. Not the watered-down quotes on Instagram. The real thing, the dark thing, the thing that works. This is the hidden codex. Before we go deeper into what Marcus knew, into the secret that changed everything, if you sense there's more to attraction than what you've been told, if you're tired of chasing, begging, hoping, subscribe to the hidden codex, turn on notifications, because what comes next cannot be unlearned. And once you see how this works, once you understand the mechanism, you'll never be the same. Let's continue. Here's what most people don't know about the Stoics. They weren't cold. They weren't emotionless robots preaching indifference. That's a myth, a comfortable lie. The truth is darker. The Stoics felt everything: desire, rage, longing, obsession. But they discovered something about the nature of desire itself. They discovered that desire has a structure, a predictable pattern. And once you understand that pattern, you can reverse it. Not by chasing, but by withdrawing. Not by showing interest, but by showing indifference. Not by being available, but by being absent. Marcus Aurelius called it the inverted law, and it works like this. Imagine 2 people. Let's call them person A and person B. Person A wants person B desperately, texts constantly, plans everything around them, makes themselves available at all times. Person B is indifferent, replies when they feel like it, has other priorities, doesn't need person A. Now, who has the power? It's obvious, isn't it? Person B. But here's what's not obvious. Here's what Marcus understood that most people miss. Person A didn't lose power because they cared too much. They lost power because they revealed that they cared. And the moment you reveal that you care, the moment you show your hand, the game is over. You've already lost. Epictetus, another Stoic master, wrote in his Enchiridion, "If you wish to be loved, do not make yourself cheap." Pause. Most people read that and think it's about self-respect, about not lowering your standards. It's not. It's about scarcity, about value, about the cold, brutal economics of human desire. Here's the truth Epictetus saw. People don't value what's easy to get. They value what's hard to get. Not because they're shallow, not because they're playing games, but because that's how the human mind works. We are wired to pursue what retreats, to chase what runs, to want what we cannot have. It's not a choice, it's biology. And once you accept this, once you stop fighting it and start using it, everything changes. So how does this work in practice? Let's say there's someone you want, someone you think about constantly. Most people do this. They show interest, they initiate, they pursue, they text first, they plan dates, they make their feelings known. And what happens? The other person pulls back, becomes distant, loses interest. Not because they're cruel, not because they're playing hard to get, but because the mystery is gone, the challenge is gone, the hunt is over. But if you understand what Marcus understood, you do the opposite. You withdraw. Not out of spite, not as a strategy, but because you genuinely have other priorities. You have a mission, a purpose, something bigger than any one person. And here's what happens. They notice, they wonder, they start to chase. Not everyone, not immediately, but the ones worth having, they always come back. Because you became what they cannot have. And that is irresistible. Now here's where it gets darker. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Book 8 of Meditations, "External things are not the problem. It's your assessment of them that troubles you, and that you can erase immediately." Pause. He wasn't talking about positive thinking. He wasn't talking about reframing. He was talking about detachment. About the ability to look at something you want, something you crave, something that consumes you, and decide in that moment that it has no power over you. Not because you don't want it, but because you're bigger than the wanting. This is the Stoic secret. Not indifference to the person, but indifference to the outcome. You want them? Fine. You don't get them? Also fine. And when you genuinely reach that state, when it's not an act, not a performance, when you truly don't need them, that's when they need you. Because people can sense desperation. They can smell need. It repels them on a primal level. But when you're complete without them, when you're whole, centered, unmoved, they're drawn to that, like moths to a flame. Let me tell you what Marcus didn't write publicly, what he only confessed in fragments. He was obsessed with a woman early in his life. Before he became emperor, he thought about her constantly, wrote about her, dreamed about her, and she barely noticed him. He tried everything, letters, gifts, poetry. Nothing worked. And then something shifted. He stopped. Not because he gave up, but because he realized something. He realized that his obsession wasn't about her at all. It was about him, about his own sense of lack, about a void inside him that he was trying to fill with her presence. So he turned inward. He focused on philosophy, on duty, on becoming the man he was meant to be. And 2 years later, she reached out. Not because he changed his strategy, not because he played games, but because he changed his energy. He stopped needing her, and that made all the difference. Seneca, the great Stoic statesman, wrote to his student Lucilius, "The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which depends upon tomorrow and wastes today." Pause. Think about that in the context of attraction. When you're waiting for someone to text back, to notice you, to choose you, you're not living. You're in a prison of your own making. You've handed your peace, your power, your entire emotional state to someone who may not even be thinking about you. And that's the trap. The person who needs nothing controls everything. The person who expects nothing receives everything. Not always, not from everyone, but from the people who matter, from the people worth having. Always. Here's the part most people can't accept. The part that makes them uncomfortable. Being attractive, being desired, being chosen. It's not about being nice. It's not about being available. It's not about showing how much you care. It's about being unreachable. Not physically, but emotionally. It's about having a center of gravity so strong, so solid, that other people are pulled into your orbit without you doing anything. Marcus called this the immovable point. Seneca called it the invulnerable self. Epictetus called it freedom. But they all meant the same thing. When you're not moved by external validation, by approval, by the presence or absence of any one person, you become magnetic. Not because you're playing hard to get, but because you genuinely are hard to get. Your attention becomes valuable. Your time becomes precious. Your presence becomes a gift. And people feel that. They don't just want you. They need to be chosen by you. Now let's talk about the mechanism, the actual psychology behind this. Why does indifference create attraction? The Stoics didn't have modern neuroscience, but they understood something fundamental about human nature. They understood that we are driven by two forces, the pursuit of pleasure and the avoidance of pain. But here's the twist. Uncertainty is more powerful than both. When someone is predictable, when you know they'll always be there, always respond, always care, there's no tension, no mystery, no dopamine hit. But when someone is unpredictable, when they're here one moment, gone the next, when they show interest, then withdraw, your brain goes into overdrive. It tries to solve the puzzle, figure them out, win them over. And that creates obsession. Not love, not genuine connection, but obsession. And obsession feels like attraction. So here's what the Stoics would tell you to do. Step 1, stop initiating. Not forever, not as a game, but as an experiment. See what happens when you're not the one always reaching out. See who actually cares enough to come to you. Step 2, build something bigger than any relationship. A mission, a purpose, a craft. Something that consumes your time, your energy, your focus. So that when someone does show up, they're entering your world, not the other way around. Step 3, practice indifference. Not cruelty, not coldness, but genuine emotional independence. Wake up every day and ask yourself, if this person disappeared from my life today, would I still be okay? And keep asking until the answer is yes. Not because you don't care about them, but because you care about yourself more. Marcus Aurelius faced this test over and over. As emperor, people wanted things from him constantly. Approval, favor, attention. And he could have given it freely, made everyone happy, been liked by all. But he didn't. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Pause. He wasn't talking about Stoicism in the face of tragedy. He was talking about power in relationships. The power to say no. The power to walk away. The power to be alone and be completely fine with it. And that power, that unshakable self-possession, that's what makes someone irresistible. Because most people are desperate, needy, afraid of being alone. And when you're not, you stand out. Not by trying to stand out, but by genuinely not caring if you do. Here's the disturbing part. The part the Stoics knew but rarely said out loud. This works. It always works. Not on everyone, not immediately, but it works. And once you start using it, once you see the results, you can't unsee it. You'll notice how desperate most people are, how needy, how transparent, and you'll realize you were that person once. Chasing, hoping, waiting, giving your power away to anyone who showed you the slightest bit of attention. But now you know better. Now you understand the game. And the question is, will you play it, or will you pretend it doesn't exist? Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Pause. Think about that in the context of desire. When you need someone, you're enslaved to them. When you want someone but don't need them, you're free. And freedom is attractive. Not because it's aloof, not because it's cold, but because it's rare. So rare that when people encounter it, when they meet someone who genuinely doesn't need them, they don't know what to do. And that confusion, that uncertainty, that becomes attraction. So let's put it all together. The Stoics spent their lives studying power, not political power, personal power. The power to control your mind, your emotions, your reactions. And they discovered something most people never learn. That attraction isn't about what you say or do. It's about who you are. Or more accurately, who you're not. You're not desperate. You're not needy. You're not waiting for someone to complete you. You're already complete. And that completeness, that self-sufficiency, that quiet confidence, that's what people can't resist. Not because it's a trick, not because it's manipulation, but because it's real. It's the rarest thing in the world. Someone who doesn't need you, but chooses you anyway. And when you become that person, when you genuinely embody that energy, you don't chase anymore. You don't have to, because people come to you. The right people, the people worth having. And they don't just want you. They work to keep you, because they know you could walk away at any moment, and you'd be just fine. Marcus Aurelius wrote those 4 words in his journal. The 4 words that freed him from obsession. They were, "This too shall pass." Not about the woman, not about the desire, but about the feeling itself. The desperate, consuming, all-encompassing need. He realized it was temporary, like everything else. And the moment he accepted that, the moment he stopped clinging, he was free. And in that freedom, he became irresistible. So here's the question. Are you ready to let go? Not of the person you want, but of the need itself. The desperation, the obsession, the fear of losing them. Are you ready to stand alone, complete, unmoved, and see who comes to you? Most people aren't. Most people would rather chase forever than risk being alone. But you're still here, so maybe you're different. Maybe you understand what the Stoics understood, that the person who needs nothing gets everything. If this opened your eyes to something hidden, if you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. Because here at the Hidden Codex, we don't stop at the surface. We go deeper, into the shadows of human nature, into the mechanics of power, into the truths they don't want you to know. Next time, we'll explore something even darker. The Stoic secret to making people fear disappointing you. You don't want to miss that. Until then, stay unmoved.